Hi guys, hope you're okay. This is Daniel. So, as everyone knows, there's been a lot of outrage in the mainstream media over the last few days about the whole situation with George Floyd. I recently made a video talking about how we can control our outrage because I personally believe that it's really important for us to try and keep our equilibrium at times like this because I don't know where the narrative comes from that we have to feel this perpetual outrage every single time, but for me, I've just been on this constant stream of negativity looking at social media, seeing people do Blackout Tuesday, and everyone is just going full force into this whole thing of trying to implement some change, which I think is fantastic. But then equally, I'm also feeling quite cynical and very nihilistic about the whole thing on the basis that I don't know how many times I can really go through this type of experience of seeing a black person being killed by the police and then going through this same cyclical pattern of we protest, we boycott, we loot, and then we do the same thing again and again. And all that happens is that people just become more and more desensitized to the whole thing, and I personally just am at the stage where I don't really believe that there's a real strong intention to try and change this narrative. I think what we're given is a lot of lip service by organisations that try to highlight the issue and essentially make people feel slightly comforted at the idea that people are doing something, but it's only going to be a matter of time before it happens again, which is a sad reality, but that's just where we are. And I was watching a video by Michi X. She's a black activist and she's really, really quite vocal about this. During her video, she was saying that one of the things that people need to do is not necessarily get or be responsive or reactive to what's happening. It's about being proactive. And if we are looking to get positive change, how can we implement that from an internal stance where we look at governments and we look at, the consequences of these particular actions? Because that's the only way things will change. It's not going to change via a protest. It's not going to change via a black square. It just isn't the case, but then equally, on the back of that, I have emotionally checked out of this whole thing, as you can clearly tell. And that's partly because I just can't deal with the gaslighting anymore. I can't deal with this whole promise of a brighter future. I'm sick of taking a knee. I'm sick of being on my knees. I'm sick of being at the mercy of what the media wants me to think. And I think it's for that very reason that I am an advocate for really, really going inward during these times, because as I've said in other videos, if I was completely not exposed to the mainstream media, if I didn't have a newspaper or television, I could be living somewhere quite peacefully in the Amazon rainforest and know nothing about anything. I'd be blissfully ignorant, but at the same time, I'd also be happy. And that just made me think about the deeper level of what it means to be happy. Like, how do we actually cultivate happiness during a crisis? And I think that it really does come from us having a strong equilibrium and being able to look beneath the veil of what we are being sold, in droves, of how people are trying to manipulate and control our emotions. Because all of this negative energy that's being cultivated, I personally believe, is really, really not working in favour of actually making us higher vibrational beings where we can ascend to a better place. And when we are in this low negative state, all it does is create more of that low negative energy in our own lives. So I personally don't ascribe to it. It's something I'm choosing to rise above. It's slightly controversial to have these statements, but at the same time, I feel it's my only way to fight back in a way that's quite positive and quite controlling, really, so I can control my own needs and my own emotions. But yeah, they're my quick thoughts on this subject. If anyone feels the same way, I'd love to hear from you. But until the next video, take care, look after yourselves, and try to minimize your contact with the news. Alright, speak soon, take care. Bye bye.